I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Hey guys, Jane Alpha here, and today will be a special video. And not only because it's going to be tackling a problem that is close to me, but it's going to be my first upload in a while, ever since I think my last video. And sorry if you can't understand me because I have retention. Yeah, so I'm going to try to talk as clear as I can. And yeah, so my topic will be about being an Asian American student in the system right now, I guess. I haven't thought of a title, but I'm gonna go with that for now. So the reason I'm talking about Asian Americans in school is because I'm not sure if it's really obvious or not, but I'm Asian. I know, really big surprise, but specifically, I am a Vietnamese American student, and I've been through schools where Asians haven't been the major, I guess, student population. I've been in schools majority Caucasian students and Mexican students. So I've never been around other Asian American students for, or at least a big populace of them. And what happens is that as an Asian American, we have all heard the stereotype of us being smart, studious, nerds, stuff like that. And I've heard all these throughout my life. And I'm not proud of it, but like, it does cause problems because even though it is a positive stereotype, it is used to kind of mock us and as well as make other minority groups feel inferior to Asian Americans or Asian immigrants in general. I'm not sure if you guys have heard this term, but Asians are also referred as the model minority, which means we are referred as minority group that um, is successful, and you know, we're all told that Asians are successful. You know, we're doctors, lawyers, stuff like that, and there's that stereotype of Asians have, you know, we've been discriminated against, but we have overcame racism, which is a lie because we face racism every day. You know, we are constantly like, I guess, I'm not sure how to phrase it, but like, um, I guess like academic wise, we are kind of, we don't get the help that we need because students and teachers think that we don't need the help because we're just Asian, and kind of like that. It's not a big problem, but like, I'm saying this on behalf of what I learned in my teaching class. And well, I'm gonna go into more detail about it later, but I'm talking about this because as an Asian student, I feel like um, I'm not as, I guess, reflected upon, or like no one cares about what I think and stuff like that. But you know, I'll talk about that all later. I decided to take off my retainers to continue with this video, but basically, I guess my biggest problem is that society views Asian Americans as hardworking and stuff like that. You know, all these positive stereotypes such as we are excelling in academics, we are successful, we overcame racism, stuff like that, okay? And it's the first stereotype I said that really kind of bothers me. And it's that fact that Asians are the most hardworking minority group in the world. Like all stereotypes, this could be true, okay? I've seen Asian families work extremely hard to support their own families. I've seen Asian parents work super hard for their kids. Speaking from a personal experience, my family has worked really hard to build a life for me and my siblings. So there's that, okay? But the thing is, times are changing, so do people, okay? And the fact that America kind of highlights Asian Americans as the most hardworking group is kind of not fair, okay? Because since I go to a school full of that are a majority of Mexican students, I've seen them work extremely hard in academics. Some have jobs, and they use that job and their school to support their families, okay? And if that doesn't display hard work, then I'm not sure what does. Because I've seen so many people of other races that are more hardworking than me and other Asian students that I know. So the real reason I want to go this is because I want an Asian student's perspective out there, okay? And America, and I guess the world in general, we or they, everyone, no one really cares about Asians, okay? We are entirely ignored, and we are not represented in the best way, okay? For example, media. When was the last time you saw like Asian people, Asian actors, being being uh, cast in a role that's not some sort of kung fu artist or a like a side character, okay? An insignificant side character, okay? Now, this is difficult because as an Asian American, I know that our parents we don't we don't focus on those, okay? We focus on the more easier ways to guarantee success, which is through math and sciences. And I'm not an actor or anything, but I know that acting is very risky because there's so many things that need to be in play. And like, for example, if the movie does really well, who's in the movie and stuff like that, okay? And Asians haven't been given a big role in any movies, okay? The only I guess exception to this is The Great Wall with Matt Damon and yeah, with Matt Damon, I think. Yeah, he is in there, I think. But that is the only movie that I've seen or that I know of that has Asian or a better representation of Asians in general, okay? Because it has both Chinese filmmakers and American filmmakers working together to create this movie. And I thought that the story would be about a white savior kind of role, but instead I was listening to a video. I'm gonna link in the description down below, but it's by Philip Wang, who from One Productions, and he was saying that he saw the premiere of the movie, and I guess what he said was, it's not a white savior role at all, okay, and he is Chinese, and what he talks about is that if because most people they don't like that it has Matt Damon, a white actor, as a protagonist, okay? But the thing is that if the entire movie is just all Asian actors, that movie won't do well because it doesn't appeal to to the major audience, which is American audiences. So to have a major um, American actor as the role as the protagonist, then it kind of suits both sides. Okay, you know, the American audience can view Matt Damon, but as well as learn about Chinese culture and history. And it's entirely fictional, and I might see it, but I'm not sure. But I guess I should try to wrap up this video because I think it's been going on for a bit too long or something. So overall, coming from an Asian person's perspective, I want to kind of I've been talking about this a lot, but my thing about I guess Asians in general is that we aren't represented as fitting as we should be. For example, Asian students, people or students who also struggle, like me, I struggle a lot in all my classes, and I don't get the help I'm gonna close the door, but some Asian students don't get the help they need because of the race of the stereotype as we don't need help, okay? And that's not fair because we need the help, we're gonna need support, and we can't do everything on our own, okay? And another stereotype is that Asians work harder. No, I've seen so many other people of different races work harder than me and even my family. So that goes to show something. And I guess finally is Asian Americans in the entire spectrum. You know, we aren't portrayed, I guess, as we aren't represented as we should be. We only represented by, you know, kung fu, some sort of like martial arts in general, or we're presented as, you know, the really geeky, nerdy people, okay? But just like every other race, there's so many other people and so many other kinds of Asians in the world. And I plan on doing this as like a part thing where I'm gonna interview one of my friends who's I'm gonna interview one of my Asian friends and me an Asian group, and we all talk about it. It's like gonna be a podcast or something. But this is my plan, and hopefully it works out. And here's my stand on Asians in the world and in school and everything like that. Asians, we aren't the best. Okay, we may have we may have success. We may have gone to school. We may just be smart or everything, but we aren't the best. Okay, it's just that I guess when you come from another country and you just do everything you can to make ends meet, and to have America highlight that we are the best workers, that helps us a lot. Okay, well, if it was some other race, America has this negative opinion on them. For example, a major one is Middle Eastern people, and them being, said that they are terrorists. That is not true, and there's so many other races that fight negative stereotypes every day. With President Trump's election, his whole thing was about scaring people to fear other races. Okay, he called Mexicans drug lords, rapists, things like that. Then there's with African Americans. Okay, they are considered as gangsters and just really bad people. But in general, I know this is a lot, but like I'm going on different topics here and there. But I want our word to be spread. Okay, if you are an Asian person watching this, here's my thing. Okay, and if you have Asian friends, you could tell them this too. But we can't let America decide who we are. Okay, we had to decide. We had to show them that we are more than the smartest people on earth. Okay, there's so many Asian musicians on YouTube, and they're helping break the stereotype. We have fresh off the boat an Asian American family living in America, and we have people like me and other YouTubers. Okay, I'm a small channel, but my views are kind of more different, and that's because I was taught and I learned how to think critically and differently. So overall, my message is this: we had to fight for who we think we are. Okay, we can't let America decide who we are. And with me personally, I people thought that I was just only I only care about my education, which I do, but I am more than that. Okay, I love to write. I like to listen to music. I like to perform. I like to do all that. Okay, and actually, I used to write raps. Okay, and Asian rappers aren't that big of a accomplishment, or they aren't that big of a topic because there's rarely any of them. But that's who I am. Okay, and I'm not letting America define me. I am letting myself define me. So my message is, so I know, but like, this is in general for every person. Okay, don't let stereotypes define who you are. You could be anything you want. Okay, just because you're Mexican doesn't mean you're a rapist. Just because you're African American doesn't mean you're a gangster. Just because you are Middle Eastern doesn't mean you're a terrorist. Just because I'm Asian doesn't mean I'm a minority. It doesn't mean I will always succeed. I am just an Asian American teenager who is bad at math, bad at computers, excelling at history and English, and I am a YouTuber. That's who I am. Who are you? Well, don't let America decide that for you. Let you decide who you are. Jay and Alpha, signing out. Peace out, everyone.